Hello, my loves. Welcome to another YouTube/podcast. I am Khandie, and I am going to talk to you about how to survive financially. No, I'm not. Actually, I'm not, because every single YouTuber in the entire world is talking to you about big numbers. So we're not going to do that. We're actually going to be very brutal, very honest, like we always expect from me. I'm going to share my story and tell you how to start making some money for real. And I'm not talking like, let's go off and make thousands. We're not going to do that. We're also not going to do the whole, I can make you 6 figures in 2 weeks. We're not doing that, okay? Because I feel like YouTube has this bit where either you're making 6 figures in a month, or, oh my God, I'm eating ramen and hoping my camera doesn't fail. I'm that broke. You know, where's the middle ground? So I'm going to offer you the middle ground, maybe a little bit of the very first steps, because honesty is very important. And, you know, I feel like if that's you, you're in the right place. We're in the right place. So we're going to break it down, right? Because you need to know this. It's going to be the cost, the income, the myths, the mistakes that will land you in hot water. But worse than like ever investing in a cheap tripod. Although technically the tripod I've got currently up there was from Middle Isle of Lidl. And I'll tell you what, it's lasting. Let's not talk about the one that's just taken a nosedive and cracked itself. So if you're dreaming of having your first £100 client, and you might scoff at this, I don't know why people are, because getting that first 100 gave me a buzz, right? So whether your bank balance is empty, then a Monday morning inbox, it never is, isn't it? Well, this one is for you, because I think honestly, we need to leave the thousands and look after the hundreds. I think the saying goes, look after the pennies, the pounds look after themselves. It's a British proverb, I guess, because it's about our money. But I want to talk to you about that first £100. And also as a pro photographer, this will help you. I've spent a lot of time in some of the Facebook groups listening, taking notes. I actually did take notes. I mean, seriously, I took notes. So, although that's not the notes I took on that side, it's on the other side. So that was pointless to show that. And if you're on the podcast, all you heard was noise. But let's get into this. So let's just shift gears. Let's go to your first 100, 500 and beyond, okay? That kind of thing. We're going to shift gears now. Is that light too pink? I like it. It gives me a nice little hue. Sorry if you can't see this on the podcast. I've got a pink, like, sheen to myself. Because if you don't know, and you probably can still hear it, I'm still sick. In fact, I was admitted to A&E and had to stay there for a long time. So, yeah. So let's shift gear. And I'm going to read from this because I've written this and I want it to be, you know, pretty good. So forget about the 6-figure dream for a minute. We can all dream about it, but just set it to one side. Let's talk about what actually is achievable, your first 100, because I feel like that is more achievable. I'm not going to say it's going to be quick though, because we are in an economic situation that is not great. And it's January. If you're listening to this, it's January 2025. And I understand the world and how it's going right now is not the greatest. So I am going to say, when you're starting out, don't overcomplicate things. Okay. Let's hope you've got a lens. Let's hope you've got a flash gun. I don't care if it's a knockoff brand one. I don't care if it's a brand one or you borrowed one. I don't care. You shouldn't care either. We are not at that point, okay? We can all be like, oh my God, you don't even shoot. It's like, I feel like sometimes people shout out brand names, like, you know, the guys in the gym go, do you even live, bro? And it's like, do you not even have like a insert brand name here? Oh my God, like, get over it. No one cares. We're starting out. We are fresh out the boxes, so don't worry, okay? You don't need to book a big event or a fancy client for this. We are going to offer something very simple, very clear, and utterly valuable. So maybe it is headshots, okay? 50 quid headshots, okay? You haven't got a reflector eye. Honestly, if you watch, I'll put a video up here of me using I think it was a polystyrene, sorry, laughing at myself, a polystyrene board from the insert of my light. It doesn't matter. A piece of white card can act as a reflector. You do not need a massive reflector, okay? So if you're going to go into that, charge 50 quid. That's your first one done. Having trouble with that? Take some pictures of your mates that are good in natural light with that white reflector, just simply that white reflector. I bought one from the works for one of my students because they'd lost their reflector. I went, give me 2 seconds, went and got one. And you know what? You want the other side shiny, wrap some tinfoil or aluminum. I can't say that word. Aluminium for us in the UK. Foil around it. It doesn't matter. Or if you really, so you get those like, what they call tablecloths that are like almost like mylar, but they're not. They're like tinfoily tablecloths. Those. I don't care. A turkey tray, you know, the throwaway ones, whatever. Okay. It doesn't matter. Take the picture, 50 quid, bang, you're done, right? Your neighbor wants a picture of their dog, get it done, 50, 30 quid, whatever, right? Get it done. Start shooting content, great, 50 quid, done, boom. Even if you can't do that, loads of the way you go. You're not going massive, but before you know it, you're gonna have £100, okay? If you could get 5 people to pay 20 quid, I know that's a lot of work, but that's your first £100, isn't it? Done. And I'm not saying like that's not worth your time because, you know, frankly, you know, it should be more, but we're just starting out the blocks here, okay? We're not working for free. We're going to earn some money doing this. So that's what I'm saying, okay? So start with your friends and family and then branch out from then, but set very clear expectations. I mean, really clear. Okay. We are not going to do a retouch that makes them look like Claudia Schiffer straight off the catwalk. We're going to go, here you go. This is what you're getting. No, Karen, you're not having the raws. You're not having them for free. This is what you're getting. I don't know. We've got a 30-minute session. You'll get 2 headshots that you can use watermark free, because we're not putting watermarks on our work. Don't do that. On your LinkedIn. And there you go. And you can look super swanky. Done. Now, when you've got them and you can go, right, I've got 5 people for that. That's 100 quid done. You can do it for the next one and go, okay, they're going to be 30 quid. So you're going to do a few less people. And before you know, your 100 gigs are now becoming 500 because you're stretching it out, right? Now, a £500 gig could literally come into you. It could be an event, okay? And you might think £500 a lot. Yeah. It is. It is a lot of money. And I'm of the mindset that £500 is a lot of money. And I don't like the fact that people just go, yeah. I always find it shocking that people drop £300-400 a pair of sneakers. I'm like, I got mine off of Vinted. Because I have weird taste in shoes. So the weird ones are normally really expensive and I can't just buy it. So I wait to go on Vinted. So, I'm just saying, you could do a half-day shoot. You could do a product style shoot for a local business. You could do branding for a business and build it gradually. Don't go running off and doing this. So the thing is, it's a lot harder to make your first 100 than your 500, I think, than it is once you start getting beyond that. Once you start rolling in those 500s, before you know it, the 600s, 700s, 800s, the 1000s start coming in slowly, slowly, slowly. And I think that's the bit people are doing, this whole disconnect. Everyone's teaching you how to make $500 today. And I'm like, no, let me teach you how to make 20 quid and £100. Let me do that, okay? Because you've got to start learning something and everything all at once as a photographer. It's really hard, like pricing, client management, marketing and shooting, all of that. And then you have to make sure it's done legally. And then you have to do the process. And you have to remember that you're now a business, so you have to make sure the client is happy and you're doing the work right. So once you've got that figured out, the money starts to flow. And I think one of the biggest investments I made, I mentioned them before, was Studio Ninja. It shows me a workflow. It's a client management software. It has the contracts, the invoices. I already give this very professional look because they have a client portal. Every one of my clients, when they have a photo shoot, have a portal they go into, and bam, right there and there is everything they could want, everything they could need, all in one space, and it looks good. Now, I have an affiliate link and you can have a look at it. It's in the description below. And I'm not saying you need to go run and do that, but when you look at it, as you want to get better, you need to ensure that your entire client management, the way in which you deal with your clients, starts to reflect it. Because, it's all well and good. Oh yeah, I'll just send it to you over on Dropbox. Or, oh, can I send you, I'll print this contract out and then you can sign it. Just do it all online. Done. Busted. Done. And if you want to present your images, I have Pixieset, again, affiliate link if you want, it's below. They can see the images and I make sales. And again, I'm having sales on top of what I've already sent. So I'm like, hey, you have your digitals and the sales. Done. Happy. Everyone's happy. I'm making money. You're happy. I'm happy. Everybody's happy. I hope. So let's be honest, the entire industry, I think any industry is obsessed with numbers. The bigger, the better. Everywhere you look, there's someone talking about that, oh my God, I made £50,000 in bookings in the first 5 months, blah. Or I've got 19 inquiries today only in my inbox. Most of them are from SEO experts or people trying to sell you, like, let me write some blog posts for you. I mean, mine are, I'll be honest. And their 7-figure empire, or whatever the BS they're spouting, and fair play to them, crack on. But what they're not telling you is a couple of things I feel are really important. And this goes for YouTubers and people, because I looked this up on YouTube, as you can, and there were a lot of people talking about this, and a lot of them were talking big numbers, and then people were talking about absolute poverty. But no one was, what I felt, was giving the brutal advice or the honest advice, which you've come to expect from me, hence why you may have bought my book, Take the Effing Lens Cap Off. Which I'm going to plug because it went to #1 in top Amazon sellers. So, win. So most of the big wins come with big caveats. I'm going to be honest. That big wedding gig will probably involve a second shooter, paying a week's worth of travel, renting gear possibly, and working a 14-hour day with a smile slapped on your face while eating soggy crisps. Okay, and suddenly that massive payday feels a lot smaller. And I'll be honest, it has. I've done it. I have absolutely done it, where I thought I've scored really big on a job, and I have gone out and gone, yeah, and realised I'm working really hard, and there wasn't a lot left afterwards. Now, that's obviously down to me not budgeting properly because I was in my early stage, but also the amount of work that goes into it. And I think that was because none of that is really fed truly and honestly from a lot of these content creators. So I want to tell you now, I don't think I've ever done a massive job where I've gone, oh my God, that was like totally easy and there was no extra work done. It was like literally show on my camera. I didn't have to do any prep at all. Yes, I did. Every time I have to do prep. I am a prepper. In fact, I'm currently prepping for a massive shoot. Thanks to this. I'm now showing, if you're not on the podcast, this is on the YouTube video. So just for you on the YouTube video, I got a new diary. It's bright orange. And it's got loads of shoot prep in it because I've got loads of shoots to prep for. I'm a big advocate for writing things down and prepping it rather than just having it in my head. Okay, I also want to say that people are cherry picking. So no one is posting about their dry months, or they're not being very honest about their dry months where they're not getting paid, or the mini sessions that they run to cover their costs. And I do that. I want to tell you now, I run mini sessions to cover costs in my months where I'm going to have a slump. My mini sessions are Christmas time because I want to get a lot of money in because I know that January is dry as hell. I do some in the summer because although weddings are very prevalent in summer, a lot of people are away on holiday, so they're not necessarily booking in mini sessions, booking in photo shoots. So I do a lot of that, and I do them also as a loss leader almost. I mean, I don't lose many of them, but the idea is to get people in. They come in. And I've got families who come in for my mini sessions, and they've always upscaled, and they've always gone higher, and always bought more. And I think it's really important that I tell you that because I am financially okay as a photographer. Financially, I'm doing good, but I don't want you to think that that means that I am, not having months where I'm going, oh, it's going to be a little bit tighter. The dogs might have to, no, the dogs never go without. I'm lying. My dogs never go without. In fact, when my dogs had salmon and eggs for breakfast this morning, I had cornflakes. Yeah. No regrets though. Until I had to pick up their poo and it smelled like, ugh. Anyway, that's not the point if you're here. So here's the big thing that I think people need to realize apparently is that if you're chasing those big numbers, you're going to really screw yourself up, especially if you're just starting out. You can't run off as a beginner and think you can score these big clients. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes the fluke happens. But I know very few people who've had that happen. And you kind of set yourself up for disappointment. And so you need to start smaller, and that's building confidence and stop believing the hype. You might see all these big YouTubers running around and they're like, look at him, he's traveling there. Look at that. He's got his own bag deal, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But for the most of us, we haven't got that. So now I want to call this the unsexy part. So it's about expenses, because I'll be damned. People really gloss over the expenses, don't they? They really gloss over it. And I, for one, am... this is where I become a bit of a nerd. My friends do laugh at me. I keep a spreadsheet of when my renewals are going to happen, how much they're costing me, and I barter. Believe me, I barter Adobe. I want to appreciate the latest barter we had. Thank you so much. I'm not going to go into it, but I appreciate you. But I shop around. I love it. Now, being a photographer is bloody expensive. I don't care what anyone says. You can't just buy a camera and say, that's it, I'm done for the day. I've got one camera, that's it. Because you need to have lenses. There's lighting, editing software, and a computer that won't crash every time you open Photoshop. Believe me, if anyone wants to sponsor me for a laptop or let me test one out, I would love one, because my massive one is great, but it's not that portable, which was completely pointless when you're buying a laptop. There's cloud storage, like storage just for you to have. I mean, God, there's one under here right now. Like insurance, a website, and backups of everything. And just in case, right? For me to do this, I had to buy decent mics. I had to, semi-decent mics. These are quite cute though. I like holding these. I don't know why I keep this on. I don't know, people laugh at me, but I keep it on. I like holding it. It's meant to be clipped. Don't like it clipped. Sorry, I'm talking about my Rode mic if you're not sure what I'm on about. So things that people don't really talk about, but they kind of do, but not enough. So contracts, you need to have a contract. I don't know how else to say this. You don't go to your day job without a contract. So why would you go to any other job without a contract? If you don't know how to find it, you can Google. You need to become autonomy or have some autonomy over this. You need to Google it. Now, I use Studio Ninja, which gives me a predetermined contract that I can alter and adjust. Okay, so that's a great starting block. You can join many of the societies, the BIP, the Societies of Photographers, the Royal Societies of Photographers if you're in the UK, all of these ones, and they will give you templates and you can adjust that, okay? But there is expenses such as insurance. And I'm not just talking public liability, which you should already have. Okay. Public liability, if you're working with the public, you need to have insurance. And believe me, I have seen this go wrong. I was photographing at a wedding and the videographer managed to do some damage to something, and he did not have insurance, and they were calling me, asking me how to proceed, and I was like, I don't know, I've got nothing to do with it. But he was in a very awful place. I know photographers who were out there in the wild photographing with no insurance. Like, who does that? And not even kit insurance. They were like, oh, I've got it on the household insurance, and then they realized the household insurance doesn't cover it. Now, you remember a couple of Aprils ago, should we say I was mugged? That's a nicer way to put what happened to me. And I had insurance. Now, I had them with Policy B. This is in no way endorsed by Policy B, but they cover my ass so well. So well. And I've got a large ass. They got me my money to replace all my kit so quickly. Okay. They literally, I mean, we had the King's coronation, we had like the bank holidays and all the naff in between. And yet I had my money and I was there on the Wex website, blah, 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 buying it and getting it. Have that insurance. This is stuff that people don't talk about. Get the insurance. The other thing is the taxes. I know it's a dirty word. I'm going to say it to you. Taxes are a dirty word. But if you're in the UK, HMRC don't give a hoot if you're still trying to find your artistic voice. They want their cut. Now, we all hate it. There's nothing more true than happens in life than death and taxes. You have to do it. You have to do it. Now, while we're talking about the unsexy truth of expenses, I want to talk about used kit, okay? And I'm going to be really nice about this. There has been some stigma, I don't know what it is, about buying used kit. There are so many places you can buy. The London Camera Exchange, Wex, MPB, those. I've bought from Wex and MPB before. I've yet to buy from London Camera Exchange used. Go have a look. Why are you so ashamed of it? People, I don't understand. I was talking to Felicia, no, I don't buy that because you don't know what it's like. They have warranties on their stuff. Why are you so pressed? Like, seriously, they're good stuff. Good stuff. They have a great sale on now. No way affiliated with them, but you know, why are you so worried? People are like, no, I can't do it. I would rather buy from any of them than any of the other online places that you can buy. Like, God forbid you bought something off of Facebook Marketplace, or no, I sell myself on Facebook Marketplace, admittedly, but I've been stung before. But you know, if you're buying something, don't. And also they have like finance situations on some of them. Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to advocate for your financial situation, but at least you can get something, right? And know that it's taken care of and it's not just looked after by Bob in his shed and he's gone, yeah, it's fine, and actually find out it's full of mold and fungus and you're not allowed to use it. I mean, I don't think there's any shame in doing that. And I think it's a great way to stop things going to landfill. And also, you know, you're not over consuming and all that nice stuff that you want to get, warm and fuzzy, green earth piece, whatever you want to call it. But you can save a pretty penny. I replaced my camera when it was mugged off of me. That's how I'm going to say it. And I got it from them, and then I think I got an open box one actually, and I saved something like £500 from Wex. I was utterly blown away. I don't often buy brand new because, to be honest, open box is literally the box has been opened and I'll grab it. That is literally all it's doing is someone's opened the box and gone, no, I don't want it, and sent it back. Why would I not want to take that? Nothing's happened to that camera inside that box. Of course I want it. So don't overlook used stuff, okay? Okay, so let's stop wasting money. Now, most of us don't have money to waste. I certainly don't. I am not in the realms of Kim Kardashian. I can't drop thousands of pounds on a balloon display for my kids. I mean, I don't have kids. That's probably one of the reasons why I don't have it. And also, don't really like balloon displays. Give me the creeps. Although my friend makes amazing ones. They're really cute and I do like those. Shout out to Paris. Yeah, she does really good ones. Anyway, I digress. So the thing that's going to probably make you feel a bit weird is stop blowing your budget on crap you don't need. Which is weird because as a photographer, a lot of us are paid to endorse certain products. The only products I ever endorse are ones that I actually physically use and ones that I see a benefit from, which is why sometimes I have stepped away from deals, which some people have been a bit shocked at. And also why I partner with who I partner, because they work for my business. And so I'm not saying you should go with everything I do, but I certainly am very careful who I partner with. That's a good thing for me. And you might remember if you watch my Instagram, I got sent a certain product and I unboxed it with you all and then immediately went, this is not for me. This is awful. And I sent it back. And lots of you were like, oh my God, really? And I don't care. Now, the product is not going to be named here, but if you know and you're one of the OGs, you would remember that. And funny enough, a lot of you eventually looked at the product yourself and agreed with me and liked that honesty. So this is why I'm saying to you, if you are listening to this on the podcast, this is the time to subscribe because you know I ain't messing with you and I'm being honest. And if you're on the YouTube, I suggest you subscribe. Another thing I'm going to say is to focus on the marketing. A basic website. I don't give a crap. You don't have to have a complicated one. And some decent branding and targeted social media ads will make you go further than any piece of gear. But I have a little like, okay. I see a lot of photographers teaching people how to do marketing and branding. And I am like, okay. And I do it myself. But what I like to think is when I do mine, if you saw my chat I did at the photo and video show, I'll put it up here somewhere. I am back this March, so do come along. Was about how to stand out, because I was seeing in this saturated market, and it is a saturated market, there are a lot of people literally marketing themselves the same as everybody else because it seemed like they'd gone to one tutor and just decided to do the cookie cutter approach and everyone was doing the same. And it just doesn't make you stand out at all. And there's some great people who teach marketing for photographers. The problem is everyone watches it and then does exactly the same thing. And then the client is sat there with the same type of advert, the same kind of wording and everything. And it's just too much. I'm sorry, it's just too much. There's too much similarity. It's just not enough. So I would say go look at marketing away from the photography industry. Okay, go look at other business, how they market. And while it's nice to look at the photography side of it and how photographers market, you will stand out more if you are not returning the same ideas that are already out there. And the other one is budgeting for the boring stuff. We shouldn't be boring, it's essential. So like your insurance, your contract, software, it's never fun to have to pay for that, but they save your ass when something goes wrong. Honestly, they really do. I don't understand how people don't do it. People not having insurance and contracts scares the bejesus out of me. Scares me. Like how does that happen? Like stop, like just, if you are not, like your money is better served that than buying a camera bag because someone's put their logo on it. Okay. I for ages was in love with the Amazon Basic camera bag because it was superb. And now I have two that I rotate that I will die on a hill for. I love them. In fact, let me just go through and tell you what they are. I can't tell you what they are because I've worn them so much. The branding has come off, but I am interested in getting a new one. So if anyone at the photo and video show, I am interested in a quirky camera bag, please. I like backpacks. But they can't look like camera bags. Because I don't like to advertise I'm a photographer. And then for the love of God, and this is just for a work-life balance and for yourself, stop comparing yourself to photographers who are already established. They have been grafting and working for years. You are just in the starting block. Stop it. Stop racing off trying to catch up with them. They have invested in their business. So focus on what matters, making a sustainable future and a foundation for yourself. Sustainability is the key aspect if you want to stay in business, particularly in 2025, okay? Sustainability. Don't overinvest. Don't overreach and just work at a pace that is doable and works for your lifestyle. Okay. So many people I see, and I'm going to say it, and I'm have to be very careful. Going to get cancelled. It is me though. It's me. What did you expect? I don't care that if you have a family crisis and that means you can't deliver a product. And I know I say that with compassion because as a person, I care, but as a consumer, I don't. That's what I really need to say. As a consumer, I've paid something and I want it, and you're a business. If Amazon failed to deliver to me, I go mad, right? If you've set yourself as a business and you fail to deliver, you cannot sit there and expect your customer to be like, that's fine, because you've gone, oh, sorry, my kid got chickenpox. Now, the person in me will care because I'm not a heathen and I have empathy. But the thing is, you are a business, you need to have contingency plans. If you are doing, I am currently editing for 2 photographers who have got it set up that if they can't get to their work, they can send it to me for editing and I will do the retouch. However, last month, a woman asked me to do all of her mini sessions because she had gotten sick and had 0 contingency. And I said, I've got 4 days I can turn around. How many do you need? 45 sessions, all which were 2.5 weeks late. And some were even 3 weeks late. And one was a month late. And I was like, how? And she said, I just put my head in the sand. Listen, I did the work, but I had to charge a premium because I had to rush a lot of this and it was hard work. You know, I know it's horrible to say this, but if you know how to run a business and can make it sustainable and have these fallbacks, it will help you. I mean it. Now we've seen it. You and I have seen this. We see the person going, oh my God, I need this £3,000 lens. And in their head, they go, I'm going to get all the clients. And you're going to be like, and the rest of us are like, you're not. Because if the clients aren't coming to you already, the £3,000 lens isn't going to happen. I remember seeing in a Facebook group, a girl was asking to loan someone 70 to 200 because she'd taken on a job role that she didn't have the ability to do, as in she didn't have the equipment, but didn't have the money to go hire something and wanted to borrow somebody 70 to 200. Now I was like, I have one, but I can't risk it leaving me because it's one I use a lot. And she got quite, taken aback that someone said, oh, ask Khandie, she might loan it. The thing is, I was going to use it the next day. And I'm sorry, I don't loan anything I'm going to use the next day for the fact that something happens to it or that you don't bring it back to me. So I said, no. And I said, why don't you just go rent one? And she was like, I don't know how to do that. I don't have the funds. I'm like, then why are you taking the job if you don't have the stuff? Like, you start small. And I don't want to be that mean, but like, the client, you're going to lose that client because you don't have the equipment to do the job. So you're going to leave a very bad impression. It's really hard to undo a bad impression. So gear doesn't make you successful at all. It really doesn't. But there are certain ways in which you can use your money far wisely beyond gear. And I think that's something that is often overlooked again. So one of them is invest in learning. And I am a bit of a funny person when it comes to what workshops I go to and online courses. I think there are a lot of courses that teach you a lot of things like style and posing, but very few teach you about business. And I think a lot of, well, I'm going to tell you now, most photographers could do with a couple of classes in business, on marketing and business. They seem to want to go to like these photographers to learn about posing and all that. That's great. But if your business isn't making you money, you don't have a business. Like you need to go do this. And there are some great people. I've spoken about him before. I went to Chris Ord. I know he runs lots of workshops and he does great feedback, and I got some feedback from him. I often go to business seminars and I watch those more than I'll watch photography ones. If you are looking at doing workshops though, I know somebody who is doing them, Chris Ord, I've mentioned him before. And I want to say Gavin Hoey, who not only, and I know I love this man, right? He has helped me so much and said so many kind words to me. I hope I never F him off. I love everything he does. Anyway, he does so much great including with Adorama. They do so much great content for free on YouTube, but they also do in-person ones. And those people really know and walk the walk and do the talk. So I highly recommend going to those. But I really want you to actively seek out business classes, understand how to run a business. So many photographers fail because they chase the artistic side and leave the business, the main bulk of, that's where the heavy admin is. You need to learn how to do that. And so many just leave it and go away and just think, oh, it will somehow fall into place. No, running a business, how to get that customer experience beyond the photo shoot, because the photo shoot is run by you, your creativity, your personality, but to get them in that door, to keep that money in your business, to keep the retention, to keep people coming back, is about running a business. So go and do some goddamn business courses. So in conclusion, look at me being bougie. So here's the deal. The money side of photography is messy, but it doesn't have to be a mystery, okay? The industry loves to shout out big wins, and you'll see it all the time in any group. Oh my God, I just got my first client. And I love that. I love that. But the real magic is what happens when you get that first couple of £100 in and the consistent steps you make. And I mean it. Your first 100 client, your first upsell, your first 500 gig, whatever it is, you're going to get it. I still remember the client that bought my first entire gallery that I presented, and I was utterly, utterly blown away. And it really humbled me. And I was so frigging buzzy and proud and happy. And do you know what? Still to this day, I remember that shoot and I remember how it felt. I remember the client that went, can we upgrade our wedding album? We love our pictures. I remember a branding shoot where I had done the job, I worked really hard, and the client goes, these were epic, can we book you again? And I was like, really? And they booked me for the next 4 years. And you know what? The only reason I'm not booked with them anymore is because they went overseas. And weirdly, when I go overseas, we still hang out. So it's so good. And they recommended me to other people. From that client was so happy with me. They recommend me. And now I work for 7 other people in their industry in different companies. So it's not about having the fanciest gear, and it's not about chasing unrealistic income goals. I mean this. It's about managing your expenses, learning the business side. Please learn the business side, and building up slowly and sustainability. So sustainable. So if you're just starting out, keep it simple. I mean it. Spend wisely, and don't let the Instagram highlight reel convince you that everybody should be buying this, that, and the other. Okay. I am very honest. If you might have noticed on my reels, go follow me on Instagram, where I talk about how I got what I got. Like, I don't hide that. If I buy something, I buy something. So I want to say thanks for hitting up the loud lens. I have been Khandie. If this episode has been your wake-up call, or you just absolutely made you laugh and you're like, yep, she's speaking the truth, you're preaching to the gospel, my love, please hit me up on the socials, leave me a review, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe for more blunt and honest take on photography, business, and everything in between. Until next time, keep it loud, keep it real, and for God's sake, just keep snapping and learning. And buy my book. Okay, there's going to be some outro music. See you all soon. Bye.